What's going on, truckers? Thanks for watching. Yeah, I got a question for you. What is cheap freight? I think I might have a few answers. Let's get going. The home of the do-it-yourself trucker. When everything goes wrong, you gotta Redneckanize. You know, we see it a lot out there. It's been going on for years. It says, say no to cheap freight. But my question is, what exactly is that? I've done a lot of research on it. I've looked up on YouTube and Google and Yahoo and even tried to go back to like that MSN search criteria. And I can't figure out what exactly is cheap freight. So what I did is I think I've come up with some solutions for it. So let's dive into that and see what we can do. But first, we'd like to thank one of our supporters, DPF Regeneration. The folks at DPF Regeneration have always looked out for truckers. Today's technology in big trucks has gotten more and more complicated, especially when it comes to those particulate filters. DPF filters need to be serviced, cleaned, and sometimes replaced, and DPF Regeneration handles it all. They have the knowledge, the network, and the inventory to get what truckers need to stay out on the road making money. Give them a holler at 800-634-3010 or check them out at www.webake'em.com. Plain and simple, DPF Regeneration. So in all of my research, what I've found is that there's no real true definition of the, give me a number. What number would be considered to be cheap freight? Is it, $1.50 a mile? Is it 50 cents a mile? Is it just 1 penny less than what you would take? If it is, tell me. And I'll be sure to note that down to that when I look at freight, I know which freight is cheap and which freight isn't cheap. But I think that there's a bigger issue here, and that is that it may be cheap to you, but it may not be cheap for somebody else. Now, there could be a lot of reasons why that is. And you could say, well, there's no way that other driver could haul it less than what I can haul it. I'm down to the bare minimum on my expenses. And you may be right. But there's a lot of other factors that go into it. So the first factor that I'd like to explain, and it's really simple because it's the easiest, and that's just good old-fashioned ignorance. The carrier, driver, or whoever's booking the load just doesn't understand the value of that freight or the cost that goes along with hauling that freight. They just don't care. They have the mentality like company drivers, miles is miles. Let's get the miles. And they don't understand that if you don't make enough money per mile, then all your costs are just going to get flushed right down the toilet, and you're not going to see any money at all. You're actually going to lose money because you don't understand that it costs you $1.20 a mile, and here you are taking $1.01 or $1.05 a mile. So to me, that would be cheap freight, because if you're taking freight less than your expense, then that's cheap freight. But then the other issues that we come up with are the factors like competition. Truth be known, even if we're all friends out here, we're still competitors, and we're still trying to book that load so that we can haul that. We want the load. We want to book the load. Okay. So if you're trying to get $3 a mile or trying to get $2 a mile, whatever it is you're trying to get, and another driver comes in there and offers $1.90 or $1.75 a mile, you can't get mad at that guy. He's actually, if he knows his numbers and he's going to make money, you can't get mad at him. He just underbid the load. You can't get the load. Now you're thinking, well, what's the load pay? Well, that's where the good question comes in. What are you charging for that? In a competitive world, you set the price because you're providing the service. Hey, we all know you go into a mechanic, and that mechanic doesn't ask you what you're going to pay him to fix that truck. He's going to charge you money. He's got a set fee. He's going to tell you. We should be doing that as drivers. We should be doing that as carriers. Set the rate. You go to the customer, you go to the broker, the shipper, whoever it is, and you tell them, you want me to haul that load, this is what it's going to cost. And it changes because of where we're going and what we're going to get out of there, and just all that stuff changes. That's why it's a competitive world out there. I mean, we all know the example of Florida. You always want to get a high rate going into Florida because there's nothing coming out of Florida, and that you factor that into your rate. You say, listen, I need $4 a mile to go to Florida because I know that I'm going to either have to deadhead out or deadhead further to get a load that's going to pay, or I've got to take something that pays low because of the ignorance factor. Drivers are going to take less money because they just got to get out of there. They're just trying to get moving. They just trying to run the miles. So, and that's what it all boils down to is that you've got ignorant drivers out there that you're competing with because it's a competitive market. And all I could say is let's try to educate those drivers so that we can try to get a better rate. Now, one of the biggest factors that I think is in play here is what rate would you charge to haul that load for your operation? And what that means is let's say you got a really good customer, and that customer, all that customer does is it hauls from St. Louis to Houston, and it pays you really good because it knows, you got a good relationship with that customer and you're getting a good rate to go from St. Louis down to Houston. Now, when you're in Houston, you're trying to get back to St. Louis because you can get that good rate. So you might take a less paying load to get up near St. Louis, so that you can get that next load. Now, if there's another driver in Houston and he's trying to get freight, well, guess what? He's looking at that rate of you're offering a cheap rate. Let's say that you're only offering a $1.40 or a $1.30 to pick up that load and take it to St. Louis. Well, that driver's like, well, that's crap. Why should that guy? I need at least $2 a mile, but he's only bidding it for $1.30. Well, because he knows he's got a customer already lined up. He's got to get moving. He's got to get up there, and that's part of the competition, and that fits that driver's operation. So you're underbidding, and that's in the spot market. I mean, we're always going to understand that the best place to get good rates is to get a good relationship with good customers so that you can get those rates. Maybe if you had a good relationship with that customer out of St. Louis going to Houston, and that customer really likes working with you, that customer may help you out to try to get you a better rate out of Houston so that you can keep moving on that gig and you never have to worry. I mean, it's all about relationships. Maybe there's a customer in Houston that knows that you might haul it. You're bidding low at 130 or 115 or whatever it is you got to go to get moving. Maybe that customer says, you know what, you're a good driver. I'm willing to work with you if you'll haul my freight up to the St. Louis area for $1.50 all the time. That way I ain't never got to worry about trying to find somebody to run it. I ain't got to worry about, I'm not screwing you over a low bid. I'll give it to you at 150. You never have to worry about it. So now, your expenses are probably in the 120, 130 range. Now you're making a little bit of money going back, but you got that good rate coming back. And now you got a regular dedicated deal where you're making money. And like I said, I don't know the operation. It's all about fits you. And that's the best part about this industry is that you get to go find the niche. What are you good at? What customers can you build a good relationship with? And those are the ones that you're going to be profitable at. And I'll just tell you that there's just so many drivers and carriers out there that are trying that, and it's a competitive market. And when those things happen, rates may go down, rates may go up. We don't know. But as far as cheap freight goes, I can tell you right now, it is all about what is fitting for that truck at that time, especially in the spot market rate. It's crazy. You've got so many shippers out there that know that there are too many trucks in this area. I know that I can find somebody to take it cheaper. So I would just like to end by saying that the definition of cheap freight, you've got your definition, other carriers and other drivers have their definition. It all boils down to that. I would say that really your definition of cheap freight should be anything where you can't make a profit. That's what it is. And I think there's tons of people out there that have said that before, that if you can't turn a profit, then you shouldn't be hauling that freight. Okay, so it's all about you making money. You set the rate. The carrier, the driver, whoever is providing the service and is in charge of paying the bills, they're the ones who should set the rate. Us folks here at Redneckanize, we come from all walks of life. We have owner operators, we have independent contractors, we have company drivers, and we even have a local driver or two. Everybody throws their 2 cents in, and we always try to come up with the best solutions to help people. And we just want to keep doing that for everybody. So check out our website. We just uploaded a few more videos, some safety videos. What I'd recommend is going to our website, redneckanize.com, sharing it with your friends and family, the people that may not be truck drivers, and just give them a holler. If they're always asking you, and I know they're asking you because they ask me, you know, what do you see out there? What's going on out there? How do you do it? They want to see videos of what goes on out there. They can see it. It's all over the internet. There's tons and tons of places they can see that stuff. What we've done is we've tried to explain what four-wheelers should be doing out there to try to help. So yeah, check us out, and we appreciate everything you drivers are doing out there for us, and keep it up, and let's help each other out. But remember, we're still competitors. So take it easy out there, be safe, be successful, keep between the ditches, and we'll see you out there on the road.